Today I am going to take up lesson number 3 of class 6th English, Taro's Rivaj. Children, this story is about a young woodcutter whose name was Taro, who lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. Lonely means alone. All day long he chopped wood. Chopped here means cut into pieces. He chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money and therefore he was poor. Since he was poor, he was sad, for he was a thoughtful son and he wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of the hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut and everyone felt cold. It was bitterly cold. Whistled through. Whistle through means passed through with a whistling sound. And cracks here means the narrow gaps. You would have seen in the windows and doors. Gaps are there, na? So that is cracks. Suddenly Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my own heart good. Now, now, when he found that his parents wanted to have sake, sake is a popular Japanese drink. He became sad, sadder than ever, for the heartwarming drink called sake was very expensive. Expensive, children, here means very costly. How do I earn more money? He started thinking. He asked himself, how do I get a little sake for my poor old father? And then he decided to work harder than before. Sake. Now, what is sake? Sake is a Japanese alcoholic drink made of fermented rice, koji, often translated as rice malt or yeast made from rice and water. Sake. So, Taro's father wanted to have sake as it was very cold. Next morning, Taro jumped out of the bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut, chopped and cut. Chopped, I say, cut into pieces. As the sun climbed means morning and then afternoon like that. And soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. He was wearing a jacket. So because of working continuously, his body became so warm and then he removed his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. He wanted to drink water. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. Since his body became warm because of continuous working, so he wanted his father's body also to become warm as his. And with that, he began to chop even faster. Thinking of extra money, and he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bone. Suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? Could it be possibly be rushing water? He heard sound, rushing water sound. Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. Before that, he had never heard, never seen any sound or any scene like that. He was thirsty also because rushing water sound was there. So the eggs dropped out of his hand. He dropped the eggs from his hand and he ran in the direction of the sound. Now Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hand, which means took some water in his hand as if in a cup and put it to his lips. Was it water? When he tasted it, there was a question in his mind. Was it water because it was not tasting like water, or was it sake? So it was actually sake. He tasted it again and again. And always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. It didn't taste water. It was actually sake. He was surprised. Actually, he was working hard to buy sake for his old father. And that water was tasting sake. This is the beautiful picture of the waterfall hidden behind a rock. Then Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the sake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he drank it, and when one swallowed the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. He was so happy. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake, and Taro's father offered that cup of sake to the neighbor. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Lady was so happy, and she thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Even Taro was so innocent that he narrated the story of that magic waterfall to that lady also. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. Now, after leaving, she just went to the neighborhood and narrated the story of the magic waterfall to them. There was a long procession of visitors. So many visitors came to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake. And Taro was so kind and generous that he offered sake to all the neighbors whoever came to his place. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty, and then the sake, exhausted, finished. Morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher. That day he carried a big size pitcher, pot he owned. For he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. First thing which he did after reaching the forest was to go to the waterfall and fill his pitcher with sake. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. When he reached that waterfall, he found that neighbors were already there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. And they were carrying that big pots, whatever containers they have with them, so to fill sake in it. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. Then one villager, just in order to taste sake, started tasting it, but he drank again and again, but it tasted only water to them. Then shouted again, water, nothing but water. And then they started shouting, you said that this waterfall, you have filled the pitcher with this waterfall, but this waterfall is giving only water. It's not sake at all. Everybody started shouting. Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. It was plain water. They got annoyed. Now the neighbors started shouting, we have been tricked. We here means the neighbors. Neighbors said that they had been tricked. Tricked means deceived, cheated. Shouted the villagers, where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall. But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock. Taro was very intelligent also. Being kind, he was also intelligent. So when he felt that the neighbors were very angry, he hid himself behind a rock. When he saw how things were going, he was nowhere to be found. He slipped away. He walked away from there. Much anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. They got so annoyed. Muttering here means speaking unclearly. So they just left the place one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the sake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. Then when he, after reaching home, he drank that liquid which he brought home. So when he tasted it, it was sake only, same fine sake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. Because he was thoughtful son, he was a good son, he was a caring son. So that water was actually sake for him. and for others it was only a plain cold water. To everyone else it gave only cold water. Story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then he named the most beautiful fountain, that fountain from which he filled his pitcher with sake. So he named that fountain in the city after Taro. After that, that waterfall started being called as Taro Waterfall. This said, the emperor was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. It's a Japanese story retold. The moral of the story is one should always work hard to fulfill the dreams and wishes of the parents. A child should be thoughtful, obedient, and hardworking to make parents live happily. Thank you.